gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms. And tomorrow night, live on the WWE Network, a glorious champion will put his title on the line, the same exact title in which his opponent has not held in 16 years. Also, one of the most storied rivalries of the modern era will write yet another chapter as two of the greatest teams of our generation will collide once again for the Tag Team Championships. And a phenomenal champion attempts to defy the odds as he defends his championship in a six-pack challenge, and he looks to beat every single person in that match in order to make it to WrestleMania as champion. But before it's time for the glorious one to defend his title, before it's time for the two greatest teams of our generation to clash, before it's time to get in the fast lane, it's time for the rundown! Thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another video right here on YouTube.com. As of course you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. This is the official rundown for WWE SmackDown Live exclusive pay-per-view Fast Lane, which is streaming live tomorrow night on the WWE Network, with the pre-show starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time as always. Now then, we're going to dive right into the matches. So far, only 6 matches have been announced. The pre-show match has not been unveiled yet, which is quite shocking, actually. I always thought WWE would put all the matches together, at least the final show before the pay-per-view, but recently they've been unveiling the pre-show matches always last minute. It happened the same thing with my Elimination Chamber rundown, and I got the Chamber rundown up before they actually announced the pre-show match. So I did not get to make my prediction on it, and I won't get to make my prediction on this either. But nevertheless, we're going to get straight into the matches, and we're going to start off with a championship match. And let's talk about Bobby Roode versus Randy Orton for the United States Championship. I'm actually very interested to see how this match turns out. Number one, it looks like a very innovative match on paper, because you see Bobby Roode and Randy Orton, two in-ring technicians, going at it for the United States Championship. And I do like that they're playing up to the fact that Randy Orton has not held the United States Championship in his career once. So that's probably going to play a factor into it. I've actually been reading some news on the WrestleMania card, or the rumored card for SmackDown Live, and it does turn out that we might get Jinder Mahal versus Bobby Roode versus Randy Orton in a triple threat match, and it should be a decent match. I'm not saying it's going to be horrible, but you know, and again, could do a hell of a lot better than that. I would much rather see a 6-man ladder match for the United States Championship. I mean, they got a 6-man ladder match for the new NXT North American Championship going down at NXT TakeOver New Orleans. You would think that the main roster would do something to rival that. But, you know, then again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's a horrible idea that we're going to have Jinder versus Orton versus Roode. But based on that fact alone, it does look like that Jinder Mahal might get involved in this United States Championship match. However, if he does not, I have to go with Roode. There is really no reason for Bobby Roode to lose the United States Championship. Supposedly, in the betting odds for Fastlane, supposedly that Roode and Orton, they were neck and neck. WWE has not decided who they are going to give the title to. Should be a very good match. Should be a very good technical wrestling match. Should pick up quite nicely. And I can expect Roode to come out victorious should Jinder Mahal not get involved. Next, let's talk about the match that was just recently announced, and it's Becky Lynch versus, Becky and Naomi versus Carmella and Natalya. I don't really know why this match is taking place on Fastlane. I would have felt that this would have been a pre-show match, and you could have given me something else on the main show. But apparently they're going to put something else on the pre-show, although I don't know what it is yet. Like I said in the beginning of this video. But then again, it should be a decent match. No, I'm not saying it's gonna completely bomb. Should be a decent match. Should be something along the lines of Rollins, Jordan, and The Bar at the Royal Rumble. I mean, it was a decent match at the Rumble between Rollins, Jordan, and The Bar. But the crowd didn't really care about it because they put the actual main event of the show on 3 matches before the final spot in the show, which was a huge mistake. But they corrected that mistake at Elimination Chamber. But nevertheless, we've seen it on SmackDown time and time again. I don't really care how this turns out. Should be a decent match at best, and I'm assuming this is going to be the beginning stages for the introduction to the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal, which is the supposed plan for the women who do not have a championship match at WrestleMania. I mean, I really have no problem with that. We'll see how that turns out. As for the winner of the match, I mean, Becky and Naomi have to be considered as top-tier spots or top-tier positions for the actual winner. But regardless of how it turns out, this match really isn't going to do anything. This match is merely just filler. I'm just going to call Becky Lynch and Naomi. That's it. Let's dive into another championship match. Let's talk about Ruby Riott versus Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's title. This match should be a solid match. I am actually very impressed with how they've been handling Ruby Riott as of lately. And as far as Charlotte goes, obviously this is Charlotte's first title defense since December, which is a huge mistake, might I add. This is a huge mistake. They should have had Charlotte defend the title at least once or twice between January and February. Obviously, they were dealing with the Women's Royal Rumble, so that didn't really work out as planned in their favor. The champions, I do not like how they've been handling the champions on both women's divisions as of lately. Alexa Bliss defended the title inside the Elimination Chamber. That was the first time she defended it since October. They shouldn't be doing that. We already have one Brock Lesnar. We don't need another Brock Lesnar, and I've stated that before in the past. As far as Charlotte goes, Charlotte, then again, she defended it in December, but then again, they didn't build off anything. They did not build off a match with Naomi, a match with Becky, a match with Carmella. In my mind, here's what should happen. Obviously, we know that Charlotte should retain against Ruby Riott in a solid match, and then she should be going on to WrestleMania to face off against Asuka for the title in perhaps one of the biggest money matches for the women at WrestleMania in a long time. And what I can see happening is this. I can see Carmella successfully cashing in her Money in the Bank contract, making it a triple threat match, doing the same thing that Seth Rollins did back at WrestleMania 31, pinning Charlotte, not Asuka. She pins Charlotte and not Asuka. Therefore, she can act as a transitional champion for Asuka on SmackDown Live. Basically, Charlotte gets a rematch against Carmella. Carmella retains, and Asuka wins the title at Backlash, so to speak. But I really don't want to see Carmella get Corbined. I really don't want to see another Baron Corbin incident. Money in the Bank should be something special. It should be something to take the holder of that briefcase to the next level. They failed to do that with Corbin, mainly because of the fact that, Corbin ran his mouth on social media. He served out his punishment. Now he's doing what he's doing right now. He's in the WWE Championship match. But Carmella, she really hasn't done anything ever since she won that Money in the Bank briefcase. In my mind, what would really make the Money in the Bank briefcase holder credible is if you have the Money in the Bank briefcase holder defend the briefcase. That way, it brings a huge sense of unpredictability. It could get an actual match with meaning on the show for a pay-per-view or a SmackDown or a Raw, whatever it may be. And it could solidify the holder of that Money in the Bank briefcase as someone of relevance, someone important. But they haven't really been doing that with Carmella. Carmella's just been floating around on SmackDown Live. She's got to cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase successfully. I do not want to see another Baron Corbin incident. Moving on, as far as the match between Ruby Riott and Charlotte goes, again, it should be a solid match. And I expect Charlotte to come out victorious. Don't really know how she's going to come out victorious. I expect the Riott Squad to be ejected from ringside at some point in this match. And I expect Charlotte to win with the figure 8 leg lock, and she'll go on to WrestleMania with that title. Let's talk about Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rusev. Now, I stated on the Lightning Flash update yesterday. Now, if you want to go back and watch that, you can. It is up on the channel. I stated on the Lightning Flash update yesterday that the biggest matchup for Nakamura, as far as a bridge goes on the road to WrestleMania, because right now he won the Royal Rumble, so he solidified his place at WrestleMania. I stated that the biggest match that they could book Nakamura on to keep him on a relevant hot streak is a match with John Cena. That would have been the best opportunity for Nakamura to keep his momentum rolling into WrestleMania. Because like I said, you had the Fatal 5-Way match for the WWE title. Didn't really need to be a six-pack challenge, but you had the Fatal 5-Way match. You had the U.S. title match, the women's title match, and then the Usos, the New Day for the tag team titles. Then you add Nakamura, Cena. That's not a bad 5-match lineup. That could damn sure sell out a pay-per-view. But they're giving us Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rusev based on what happened with Aiden English on SmackDown Live. And yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense that Rusev wants to get revenge because of Aiden English. But then again, what's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen? Shinsuke Nakamura is going to hit a Kinshasa on Rusev. Why is Rusev being treated like dog shit? Why is Rusev being treated like nothing? Rusev is one of the top merch sellers in the company and one of the most over wrestlers on SmackDown Live as we speak. Can you imagine the Rusev Day chants at Fast Lane, the Rusev Day chants at WrestleMania? WrestleMania, and the night after WrestleMania too? The night after WrestleMania and the SmackDown Live after WrestleMania? Can you imagine the Rusev Day chants then? They're not going to stop chanting for Rusev. Why don't you take advantage of that? Instead of shunning everything away that you don't want, why don't you take advantage of the material that you have in the palm of your hands instead of throwing it over your shoulder just because you don't want it and you don't deem it as good? The WWE corporate office, the WWE officials should not be in charge of deeming what is good for television or not. The fans determine that. The fans have been determining that for years now. Years. And what has WWE done? Every single opportunity that they get, they push the fans to the side. I'm not even gonna lie with you right here. I am genuinely shocked that they gave the Royal Rumble win to Shinsuke Nakamura. I am genuinely shocked. I'm still shocked that they gave Daniel Bryan the main event of WrestleMania. Because every single thing that the fans latch onto, WWE seems to seek it out like a shark and destroy it right before your very eyes. They almost did it with Daniel Bryan. They did it with Wade Barrett. They almost did it with Nakamura again. And they're on their way to doing it with Rusev. They destroyed the Ascension. They destroyed Tyler Breeze. They destroyed almost every single thing that the WWE Universe has latched onto. Now they're on their way to destroying Rusev. In my opinion, Rusev and Aiden English should be fighting the Usos at WrestleMania. But now it looks like we're going to get a triple threat tag team match between the New Day, the Usos, and the Bludgeon Brothers. New Day shouldn't even be there. Bludgeon Brothers with a backup plan. Like I stated in the past before, this should have been the plan. Rusev Day should have won the titles at Mania. Bludgeon Brothers could have taken the titles off of Rusev Day because you got the top face team and the top heel team. Put them together and then have the Bludgeon Brothers win, and then you build up Sanity to take the titles off the Bludgeon Brothers. Again, I state, how is it that I can book an entire year's worth of a tag team division and a tag team title run for 3-4 teams in a matter of minutes? Yet WWE can't get a decent storyline for the women's division, the tag team division, and half the mid-card. With the time that they got on their hands. They got a hell of a lot more time on their hands than I do. I'm a busy guy. I'm not even going to lie to you. I am genuinely shocked that I'm still doing these videos. Because I thought the second that I stepped foot into college, I thought everything was going to just spiral into a tailspin. But turns out I've been managing things very, very well. And I've been able to get these videos up. If I'm able to manage my time well and still come up with great ideas as far as wrestling goes, but yet WWE can't come up with great ideas with the countless hours of time that they have to think, that is frightening. That is genuinely frightening. As far as the match goes, again, should be a solid match. I never, ever, ever have discredited the wrestling of the pay-per-views in any way, shape, or form, unless your name is Jinder Mahal. Never, ever, ever discredited the wrestling. Booking always makes or breaks the show. Obviously, this looks like a well-booked pay-per-view so far, if they play their cards right. But, you know, it's predictable in the end. It's predictable in the whole scheme of things. Hopefully, we get some good wrestling with Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev, and I expect Nakamura to come out victorious. Let's talk about the Usos versus the New Day for the tag team titles. I thought it should have been the Bludgeon Brothers taking on the Usos at Fast Lane. But then again, you know, WWE wants to push Rusev Day to the side like they've always done for the last 4 months. Obviously, we know that this could very well be. As a matter of fact, I'm calling it right now. It is going to be match of the night. Because every time that the Usos and the New Day cross paths, it's a recipe for absolute gloriousness. Never mind Bobby Roode. But I really had a problem with this because of the fact that I did not like their feud in the sense that I did not like them flip-flopping the titles back and forth. I don't like that. I like long, drawn-out title reigns. A 1 to 2 month reign with the championships does absolutely nothing. New Day cannot win the titles. I fully expect the Usos to come out victorious in the match of the night against the New Day at Fastlane, and they're going to go into WrestleMania with the titles, or perhaps the Bludgeon Brothers might interfere. Bludgeon Brothers might interfere, or they might attack the Usos after they beat the New Day. We're going to have to see what happens there. Now, the main event. AJ Styles defends the title against Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin, and John Cena. This match also has the potential to be the match of the night. It's going to be hard to top the Usos in the New Day, and trust me, I've known that because I've seen nearly every single Usos New Day match from 2017. Matter of fact, I have seen every single Usos New Day match on pay-per-view and on SmackDown Live from 2017. I was there in Battleground when they won the tag team titles, the New Day, for the first time. So I know firsthand how hard it is to follow the Usos and the New Day when they're facing off for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. But if any match can do it, it's this match. This match should be beautifully chaotic, just like NXT TakeOver War Games, just like Survivor Series 2016 in that 5-on-5 match with Raw and SmackDown. We should be walking out of Fastlane with AJ Styles, still the WWE Champion, and AJ Styles should go into WrestleMania and face off against Shinsuke Nakamura. Nobody else should win that match. What I see stemming from this matchup, I can see Cena. Cena's going into a feud with The Undertaker. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn should be on a collision course with each other, and they're going to face off at WrestleMania. Styles is going with Nakamura, and Corbin and Ziggler, it's a hit or miss with them, but I would either put him in a ladder match for the U.S. title, or I would put him in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And ladies and gentlemen, that has been the rundown for Fastlane. I would like to thank each and every one of you who tuned into this video. Do not forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at #1 WWE fan, at the DJ Storms. Do not forget to check out the Lightning Flash update yesterday. If you missed it, do not forget to check out the Lightning Flash update next week. And do not forget, as I've been stating, March 24th, Saturday, 2018, East Coast, Felician University, Rescue Mania. The entire DJ Storm's production crew will be attending Rescue Mania, and I will be interviewing former WWE superstars. You never know who's going to show up. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms, and this has been The Rundown. I'll catch you tomorrow night for Fast Lane.